It's Halloween, and that can only mean one thing: fantasy football picks, right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys had an amazing week 7. I did. In DK, we hit some money. We did pretty well with this lineup, 224, and had some others. And in yearly, we are the point leader. We are in 3rd place, and we are plugging along right away. And we're hoping for some big things this week in week 8. So before we get into that, let's toast to the Halloween spirit and get some more Scully in our lives, because that's really what we need right now. Cheers, you spooky motherfuckers. And of course, some tasty ass coffee to wash that down. Now, the first person we're going to talk about is that rookie I talked about in my draft special, and that's Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. The guy is just tearing it up week in and week out. He's consistent at 20-25 points, and he could have a big game this week going up against Tennessee. He had a very nice game last week. He was throwing the ball all around the field, and Joe Mixon might not be there. So that means he just might have to throw a little more than normal. So really all his wide receivers are going to be in play, especially against Tennessee, who likes to give up a lot of big plays. So check him out in your lineups, put him in at 6,200, and let's spark it up to Joe Burrow, and hopefully he brings home those big points this week. Now let's talk about those running backs, and the first running back we're going to talk about this week, we just talked about that game, and that's that Tennessee game, and Derrick Henry. Look, like I mentioned, Joe Burrow is going to have to throw a lot in this game, so to keep him off the field, they're going to have to run the ball, and Derrick Henry is the best guy to do that. He's going to have 20 to 25 touches this game, and if it becomes a shootout as intended, it could break out to a much bigger game like we saw the other day, so he could put up that 30 to 40 points crazy Derrick Henry game that we all like and love and expect. So get him in your lineup. I know he's expensive at 8,000, but we're going to fill the other RB slot with a cheap running back and opportunity knocks, and that's JaMycal Hasty in San Francisco. Look, they like him out there. George Kittle talks about him a lot, and when George Kittle's talking, I'm listening. So he doesn't have a lot of big plays to go off of, but every time he touches the ball, he seems a little excitable. So like him in the lineup this week. He's at 5,000, and we're going to slide him in, and we're going to take a little rip off of Scully before we talk about those wide receivers. Cheers. Now on to the wide receivers, and we got to talk about the guy who blew the fuck up last week, and that's Devante Adams. Look, he's not going to do what he did last week, but can he do half of that? Please and thank you. Look, he is the apple of Aaron Rodgers' eye. He's going to catch at least 5 to 10 balls in this game, and I expect him to have a big day because it is Minnesota. They are very poor in their secondary, so it's going to be a shootout game. Aaron Rodgers is going to throw the ball all over the field, and we're going to go across the field in the same game and talk about Justin Jefferson because they are going to have to throw to keep up, and I expect them to throw the ball early and often. And Justin Jefferson has been lighting the scoreboards up all year. Adam Thielen's going to draw most of the coverage, so expect him to have another big day, at least a 15-point floor, and that huge ceiling that we could see at 25 to 30 points. So slide him in, and another guy we're going to talk about that we're going to pair with our quarterback is T. Higgins. Look, we talked about him last week. We're talking about him as much as possible. A.J. Green had 13 targets, and he only caught about 5 of them, while T. Higgins had 5 targets and caught pretty much all 5 of them and had another touchdown. So look, T. Higgins should be in your lineups this week. He's still only 5,600, so slide him in, and we're going to get another flyer in there, and that's Denzel Mims in New York. Look, I hate starting Jets wide receivers, but talented wide receivers need starts, and Denzel Mims is one. If you guys remember him in college, he was a stud, and this isn't college, this is the pros. But Mims is solid as fuck, and expect Darnold to look for him early and often. As soon as he hit the field, he was looking for him. He's very explosive, and I do think he's going to get in the end zone this week, and he's at that minimum at 3,200. So that gives you a lot of space to work in DraftKings this week. So get him in your lineup, and let's also get another rip out of our beautiful skull friend here. And now on to the tight end, and there's one guy I want to talk about, and he comes in at that minimum again at 3,200, Harrison Bryant. Guys, he blew the fuck up last week. He was supposed to blow up last week, and even with Njoku in the lineup, he still put up 20 points. As we know, Odell is out for the year, so they're going to have to find more weapons to use. Jarvis Landry is more of the possession receiver, but Bryant's kind of explosive. He reminds me of a little Zach Ertz, little Dallas Goedert. He could run in space. He's very wide receiver-like, so expect about 10 points from the guy, which is a good floor to have for a guy at 3,200, and we're going to talk about that defense right after this. And lastly, that defense, and we're going to talk about the same guys we talked about last week, and that's the Buffalo Bills, because they have New England. And if you guys haven't been watching New England lately, here's a secret: they're not good. Cam Newton is just not a good quarterback. I'm sorry. I've had this argument with a lot of people, and he's just not good. He can't throw the fucking ball, yet he could run. Of course, he better be able to. But look, when it comes to throwing the ball, he's very wild. And I expect at least a pick, maybe 2, and a couple sacks. So get the Bills in your lineup. I know they're a little expensive at $3,300, and that should round out the lineup you guys see here. Hopefully you guys copy it. If you guys have any suggestions, any changes I should make, please let me know in the comments below. And as always, before we get out of here, we have to dab, and we're going to be dabbing out of the Zen as Fuck with the High Five Duo. You guys should know by now already. This is the combo. Now let's load this beautiful sucker up with some of this Willie's Reserve. And just to let you guys know, we are about to vote. I don't know if you knew that, but like in 2 days from now, 3 days, it's going to be November 3rd, and we're going to have to vote. And if you have already, thank you guys so much for voting. You guys are awesome out there. And if you haven't, make sure you guys set up a plan to do so. It's really important you get out the vote this year, not just for president, but local elections. Those are really the most important, because that's where choices are made locally, and we could start legalizing throughout this country systematically, because that's really what needs to happen. And if you guys don't know, really check out that Last Prisoner project. They are guys that are out there that are doing really great things for the community, that help people that were wrongfully convicted for marijuana possessions or charges. They really get them back into the community and help them out. So guys, check them out. Do everything you can to get out and vote. And let's get lit on some of this beautiful, beautiful sauce, shall we? As this lights up, don't forget you could win this. We are choosing a winner tomorrow, November 1st. And good luck to you guys. I hope you guys win, and we have second and third place prizes too. Hope you guys are doing what you're doing for the community. Hope the money is with you as well. Don't forget to fucking vote, like always. Stay beautiful, and most importantly, stay lit.